In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a JavaScript bookmarklet. This includes 3 bookmarklet sample code. First thing you should know, a JavaScript bookmarklet is nothing more than a block of JavaScript code with one small difference. It's wrapped with an outer piece of code that enables it to run in the web browser at any website. Normally, JavaScript code has to be installed on the website or on the web server where that code is going to be executed. For example, this is a Plenty of Fish website. If we view source code, you're going to see there is a ton of JavaScript code there. So in order to run JavaScript code, which JavaScript code can do a lot of different things, very powerful, you normally have to own the website or have access to the website to make JavaScript code run. What's great about JavaScript bookmarklets is you can execute them on any website you want, which is pretty exciting because it enables you to have a ton of functionality at websites that isn't already there. I'll show you an example of a bookmarklet. Simple example of how a bookmarklet can enable you to do lots of really cool and useful things. This is a Facebook web page. And do you ever notice that when you scroll a Facebook web page, the page never really ends? It's called endless scrolling. You keep scrolling and scrolling and more content keeps appearing. And maybe you actually want to get to the bottom of the page for some reason, and it's an alternative to sitting there at your computer for the next 10 minutes scrolling. You could just run a piece of Bookmarklet code that I have for such a purpose. It's called scroll to the endless page bottom, and what it's going to do is you click it, the JavaScript code makes that page keep scrolling down and scrolling down till it gets to the very bottom. It does this all by itself. You can let this thing run. You go off, make a coffee, come back, the page is at the bottom, and you just saved yourself a ton of time and effort. And then there's a Bookmarklet code to stop that at any time you want. I'll click that now, and the endless scrolling stops. And there's so many things you could do. Anything you could do with JavaScript, you can make it into a bookmarklet and have it run on any website you want. I'll show you another really cool example of Bookmarklet code, and this Bookmarklet code is actually on this web page you see on the bottom of your screen. You're free to take it and use it for your own purposes. It's actually a simple content scraper. I'll now click the Bookmarklet code to execute the bookmark, and all this is a little content scraper that I created in the form of a bookmarklet. Once you've run the code, all you have to do is select text that you want to scrape from a web page, and this bookmarklet is going to save whatever you select with your mouse to this text box. And then once you are done selecting, once you're done scraping, you have whatever you've selected in this text box here, and you just copy it and save it wherever you wish. So you can save pieces and snippets of websites that way. Now, all a bookmarklet is a link that contains JavaScript code. And to turn it into a syntax that the web browser can understand, all you have to do is wrap that JavaScript code in this little piece of text here. This first part here, this says JavaScript : It's like telling the web browser, okay, I'm not going to have you go to a website, but I have JavaScript code I want you to execute or run. And then this part, which is called an anonymous function, it ensures that the JavaScript code that you place in here runs immediately as soon as you click the bookmarklet. So all you do is take whatever JavaScript that you want to be able to run on any website in the world, paste it where it says your script here, and you have yourself a JavaScript bookmarklet. Now, when you come to this web page shown at the bottom of your screen right now, it's going to cover all these topics here, exactly how to make a bookmarklet, the code syntax, 2 ways to run it, how to save the bookmarklet to your web browser bookmarks. If you have tried using a bookmarklet in Google Chrome, there's a very simple cure for that I'm going to show you, along with the Bookmarklet code for the content scraper that I just showed you, that you can have absolutely free. And there's actually a little free tool that allows you to take a block of JavaScript code, click a button, and convert that code from multiple lines into one line, which makes it a lot easier to use as a JavaScript bookmarklet. And there is the sample JavaScript bookmark code that is the content scraper.